So next week, again, lighting and texturing, blah, blah, blah. Zoom in so you guys can see. So this is the one where you're going to sort of block in all of the major lights and stuff that you're going to use in your scene. And just also do the major textures in your scene. So like, mostly for texturing, I'm more concerned about like the characters themselves, or like if you need custom textures versus just like, I need a generic brick texture in the background. Like that's something you can do really easily later. But just sort of start at like, again, thinking about your UVs, making sure that you're able to do what you need with the texturing and like sort of place everything on your characters so we can look at that next week. And then again, just like keep messing with the lighting. And I'm not looking for like crazy refined lighting, but mostly just like all the major lights in your scene. So after this, I'll go over just like a really quick little 3-point light setup again, in case any of you guys haven't seen that before. And then I'll go over some like weird tips and tricks where you can sort of light moving characters that is not a thing you can do in the real world, but is like really, really great to do in CG. So again, requirements, all major lights in your scene, and at least diffuse textures for all characters and environment pieces. Or you can, if you want, fully texture your characters, so you'd have like the diffuse specular maps, etc., and then do some rougher textures for like a quarter of the objects in your scene. It's kind of like what I'm looking for that. And this is also like, again, still a little bit flexible since like probably you don't have all of the objects in your scene yet. So just do like, you know, kind of as much as you can for what you have available. And also just do be in mind, I'm probably going to say this a lot, but like the more you get done now is less you got to do weeks 9 and 10, and that's always a good thing. Anywho, point breakdown. Does the lighting start to create some kind of mood that you were going for your scene? And then I'm also just looking for texture quality and completeness. So this one is actually really focusing on sort of getting the textures worked in, and you can kind of like keep refining the lighting as you go. For what to submit, please do an updated play blast of your animation progress. So I just sort of expect that like you guys will be working on animation as you do other things. So each week you're going to be submitting a play blast in addition to whatever other stuff you'll be working on. We will be looking at those in class every week. So again, please do actually keep working on your animations. And then also do just a zip file with one render of your scene every 50th frame of your animation. So there should be at least for 24 frames a second and 30 seconds of animation, there should be at least 12 renders in that folder. And the basic idea with this is I'm not going to make you do a full render each week because that's cruel and unusual punishment. Well, at least for work in progress stuff. But basically you can just sort of go through and like for more or less like each shot, just kind of see like what your lighting's doing as your characters are moving through the scene, see if there's anywhere where they're, you know, covered in shadow accidentally. So this one is like pretty minimal in terms of the number of renders. As we go forward, I'm going to start doing renders like every 20th frame. So you'll be doing like more renders just so you can, again, sort of see how your lighting is going before you render the entire thing. But that's pretty much the assignment for this week. Any questions on that? All right. And just don't forget really quick, so if you guys want to set up your render settings, so you don't need to like manually render every 50th frame, well, this is a helpful window display. Delightful. Anyone ever seen that before? Why? Wow. No. All right, that's super weird. But I was gonna say, to have Maya automatically render, I might have to close Maya because that's actually really annoying, but to have them re-render every 50th frame, yep. Okay, dumb question, I never have to reset my render settings. Where might one go about doing this? Wait, say again? Sorry, I can't hear you. Gotcha. I'll figure it out eventually. I might actually just...
Wait, is like the window just not opening yet?
No, the window's opening. It's just...
Yeah, so... do you like know like that window that pops up in the beginning of Maya?
Yeah, that horrible annoying thing?
Yeah, did you close out? Did you already like click OK?
I think I have, but there was another one that popped up that I just closed, and now I have render settings. All right, that's weird. That's
Yeah, if you don't like close out of that initial window, it doesn't give you.
what an awful thing. Well, thank you. That's weird. That's incredibly stupid. Anyway, but yeah, so just again, make sure that you're rendering not to single frames, and then under your frame range, just set this to be your whole animation, and just set the by frame to 50, and that will automatically render every 50th frame without you having to, again, go back in and do it manually. And apparently, if your render settings don't show up, just close that weird extra window that Maya just shows you for no reason at all. Interesting. Okay, cool. All right, any questions on that? All right, cool. In that case,